Hello and welcome, sports fans, to this live streaming event from Table Rock Sports Productions in partnership with our local school districts and business sponsors who make these live presentations possible. I'm Jim McCoy, along with Mark McLemore on the camera, Becca Miracle from Cascsde Christian High School in Medford, Oregon. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to the Lithia Superstore pregame show as we get set for this matchup between the Rogue River Chieftains and the Cascsde Christian Challengers. Thank you for joining us on the home front for live local sports coverage, TableRockSports.net. Welcome to our home and visiting fans watching today. Joe Brett is our executive producer. Our sponsors keep these events free for fans to enjoy. Please let them know you appreciate their support. Please help Table Rock Sports by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and thank you to the over 4,000 fans who already have. Let's take opportunity here to recognize our sponsors, and we'll be back as Mark and I preview the game here on TableRockSports.net.
One of the things I like most about working at the Ashland Food Co-op is that it's a partner with RVTD's Employer Pass program. It makes it super easy for me to get to work and save a ton of money. I play a lot of musical instruments. I bought my own tuba when I started working at the co-op. Sometimes I'll bring it into work to play for my coworkers and the customers. When I bring my tuba onto the bus with me, it definitely gets a lot of heads turned and people will ask me, "What's that thing? Why is it so big?" RVTD is moving our community forward.
Don't miss the President's Day sales event at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great inventory of new Jeep Gladiator and Grand Cherokee 4x4 models in stock now. Or test drive a new 25 Ram 1500 4x4. Jump online today with our online process to calculate your own payment, whether it's a lease, finance, or cash payment. Only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Welcome back, and this portion of our pregame show is brought to you by Abby's Pizza, with locations to serve you throughout Southern Oregon. Make Abby's Pizza your postgame stop with a menu that covers all your family favorites. Abby's is an Oregon postgame tradition since the 60s. See you after the game at Abby's. Jim and Mark here getting ready for the ball game, and Mark, the Chieftains making a little bit of history this week. You would have to go all the way back. The last win in league play was actually a forfeit for the Chieftains during the COVID season against, I want to say it was against Lakeview. Then you go back a year earlier. They hadn't won a league game in 5 years.
Yep.
But they snapped that streak against a good St. Mary's team on Tuesday night. This is the thing that I wonder, Mark, coming into this ball game. This team, young, scrappy, lot to learn. But you can't help but wonder, is that game, maybe that's something that kind of sparks some thought.
They're certainly going to have some confidence coming into this game after that. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And so the challengers, they got to be ready for this game. You can't take this one for granted after you saw what happened to St. Mary's. And maybe that's a good thing for Cascsde Christian, too, to see that result and be able to go, hey, we got to play. We got to play in this game. We're going to have to do the right things. And, it's going to be a scrappy one, at least for a couple of quarters, I think, just because of the confidence that Rogue River is going to be coming in off of, that win.
Well, we've always talked about the challengers this season being a little bit vertically challenged. And, of course, for the last several games, Derek Farmer recovering from an ankle sprain. But not a lot of height on this Rogue River roster either, so they probably grateful for the fact they don't have Austin Maurer to contend with anymore.
I'm sure that's true.
And it'll be interesting to see, how this Rogue River team comes out. The challengers, we see Briley Richardson out there this evening. He was out sick on Tuesday.
He just had a sickness, and he's back now. He got a full practice in yesterday, so he should be ready to go. Which is good to hear, good to see. So it's going to be interesting to see how this last game plays out. The challengers, have to be focused. They can't take this for granted, even though they handily beat Rogue River earlier in the season. So it's going to be important for them to just not let the big thing is not let Rogue River get any hope. So they need to come out right off the bat and really play their game and get a lead.
Set the tone.
And set the tone. And hopefully the Challengers can do that. I know they're getting ready for playoffs, and they've already won the league, so that that part of it's handled.
Right.
But and so they are going to get a home playoff game. We don't know who yet. There's a lot of basketball to be played between now and Saturday. I believe it's at midnight when the rankings freeze, and then we'll be able to make some more intelligent guesses, and then initially the brackets will come out the following Sunday. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. There's all kinds of league tournaments going on that are going to affect the rankings, because remember, the Challengers win their league, they are guaranteed a first round. The way that you have to be ranked in the top 12, which the Challengers are. We're not sure where they're going to end up, but I don't believe they can fall below 6. I think they can be 5 or 6. More than likely, one of those two places is where they're going to end up as the rankings get settled in here by Saturday. So they will get a home game there. And remember, the bracket is loaded straight off the rankings. So it'll be, obviously there's some teams that get in that are ranked higher than, because they take the first 20. There's 20 spots in the playoffs, basically. Yeah. So the teams there are going to be teams that win their league that are ranked fairly high. And anybody that's ranked above 12, even if you win your league, you get a home game, but it's one of the first round play-in games is your home game.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that bracket plays out and who the Challengers are going to ultimately end up playing. And it will not be an easy first round game.
Well, I think at one point the Challengers got as high as 4th. It looked for a moment like, I know a couple of weeks ago you and I were talking, and it could be De La Salle. Nobody wants to see those guys.
No.
Just because they're a tough matchup. But then I think a few days ago it looked like, it could be Dayton.
Yep.
And they're always a tough out.
Yes.
And then I forget they had fallen to 6th, even though they won their game on. But again, that's the rankings for you. And then, it's just safe to say there's enough basketball left to be played. Nobody really knows for sure, but they're in that good spot, and they got that playoff game. You take care of what you can do.
Well, yeah, and you and I have seen it all season long, too. The Challengers shoot much better here, especially from the three-point line here in their own gym. And so I think it's going to be a nice advantage for them to have that first-round playoff game, and then provided they win that game, obviously, then they're going to have to, go against someone fairly tough when they get, if they end up in the 6th seed, they're going to play the 3 seed, which right now is Valley Catholic in the first round of the state tournament over at Marshfield. And nobody wants to play Valley Catholic right now. They got a lot of size, and the Challengers do not match up well with them. So
it's a very interesting 3A this year.
It is very interesting 3A.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take a timeout. Well, maybe we won't, because it looks like, of course, we did the national anthem before the girls' game. And it looks like maybe they're going to go ahead and go right to the
starting lineup.
So we'll just go ahead and keep it right here for now. All right, here's our public address announcer, Tim O'Sullivan.
First, visiting the Chiefs, River High School.
You need a hoist yet, my legs aren't strong enough.
A 5'10" junior, number 15, Malachi Scott. A 6'2" junior, number 20, Sean Murray. A 5'10" senior, number 21, Jake Stockman. A 6' sophomore, number 24, Mason Scott. And a 6'3" junior, number 35, Cody Coronado. Head coach of the Chieftains is Maxwell Tavernick. His assistants are Josh O'Gorman, Jake Berkman, and Tyler Snodgrass. Cascsde fans, are you ready? Here's the starting five for your Bloody Chargers. And guard, 6' senior, number 1,
Well, there you have it, the starting lineup for the Challengers. Briley Richardson back. Farmer warmed up this evening, but I'm guessing that, under the circumstances, keep him on ice and really let that ankle get strength and recovery before you get him out there.
Well, yeah, he really hasn't ran all that much yet. He's still working through the process of just running. I would think he's going to be ready for that first-round playoff game is probably the target at this point. He had a really bad ankle sprain.
Challengers control the tap, the haze in the barn. Let's go. Brady Klecker around the horn. Briley Richardson back in the lineup after missing Tuesday night due to illness. Klecker, and he knocks down the first jumper of the ball game as the Challengers take the early 2-0 lead.
That's one of the tricks he has in his bag is that little right-handed runner right there, and that was a nice little shot for the first hoop for the Challengers.
With the basketball for Rogue River, Mason Scott drive to the hoop and kissing it off window for two, Kobe Coronado. And it sounds like from you talking with Josh Davis the other night that Rogue River, about everything they threw up went in. Alvarez missing on his first attempt.
Yeah, at least according to what I got from the referees that refereed that St. Mary's Rogue River game, there was a lot of stuff going in for Rogue River.
Scott with the basketball, lays it off for Stockman. And the Chieftains take the early 4-2 lead. Richardson out of backcourt, starts to make a move. We have a whistle stopping play.
It's going to be on Malachi Scott.
Malachi Scott, 5'10", junior wing. Challengers with the inbound. Richardson averaging 9 points a game to Frankowiak. Low post for Alvarez. Kicks it out. Goldade has been playing basketball at a high level. He had 13 on Tuesday night. Let me get the scoreboard sorted out here. 5-4 ball game. Alvarez making a move to the hoop. He's fouled. He'll go to the line.
Yeah, nice job by the Challengers after the Chieftains make a couple buckets of sort of putting things back in order.
Mason Scott whistled for the personal foul. The Chieftain boys, like the Chieftain girls, a young team. Alvarez connects on the first. He's averaging about just almost 4 points a game. A recent starter after the injury to Farmer. Just a freshman, a lot of growing physically in the last 2 years. Meanwhile, Rogue River gets their offense going. They get a look inside, shot hard off the glass by Coronado. And the Chieftains with the inbound underneath their own basket.
Yeah, one thing that the Chieftains will do is crash the offensive glass, and we've seen it early. They've already got a couple of offensive rebounds in this game.
Taking the inbound is Malachi Scott. Bounce pass nearly taken away by Richardson, pulling up and shooting. Shot in and out for Mason Scott. Jaron Frankowiak, no-look pass to Alvarez. He lays it up and in.
Gotta love it when Frankowiak's running the offense like that.
Scott with the basketball. Picks up his dribble and dragged the pivot foot. So again, that Rogue River lineup, Malachi Scott, along with Mason Scott. Sean Murray wears number 20. We also have Stockman in there.
Here comes a little double screen the Challengers run for Richardson.
Richardson, good defense there by Rogue River. Frankowiak lets it fly.
And he uses all of that rim.
Well, that's, having that soft touch. You'll get those friendly rolls or bounces from time to time. Near steal by Richardson. And
Carey.
That'll be on the turnover. The Challengers will get it back with 5:04 left to go in the first. Challengers
doing a good job of establishing themselves here early. 11-4, 5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
9 unanswered after falling behind 4-2. Klecker with the basketball inside for Goldade. Dumps it. Frankowiak. Richardson from downtown.
And when the threes are going in, the Challengers are a really hard team to beat.
And Richardson, one of those guys who, well, just about every kid on this roster can knock down the three-pointer. The Chieftains with the basketball. Coronado, his shot rims off.
Good rotation that time by the Challenger defense.
Frankowiak with the basketball. Now to Richardson. Richardson kicks it out. Alvarez. Frankowiak from downtown. Whoosh!
And a timeout, Rogue River.
17-4 your score. We'll go ahead and at least keep it here for the time being. Check out the new sports voice in Southern Oregon, the Ace Sports Radio. AM 1300, FM 107.9, and streaming live at theasportsradio.com. Featuring Tee It Up Southern Oregon with Joe Brett and Kyle Clements. Weekdays from 1 to 3. And then the Bald-Faced Truth of John Canzano out of Portland from 3 to 6. Sports Action is brought to you by our title sponsor, Lithia Jeep Dodge Chrysler, where you can find great deals on the lot or at lithiasuperstore.com, and by Road Credit Union with locations throughout Southern Oregon to serve you. Carson Willard checking into the ball game for the Challengers. Alvarez will come out for a breather.
Hudson Gottsman in as well for Brady Klecker.
And for the Chieftains, Dustin Morton in the ball game. Scott, bull rushing to the hoop, tipped around, Goldade, and now deflected. Richardson with the basketball. Gottsman, shot off target, tries one more time. This time he gets it to go. 3:45 to go in the first. Challengers up by 15. Jake Stockman with the ball against Gottsman. That'll roll off his foot and out of bounds.
And another turnover, 5th turnover here in the first quarter already for the Chieftains. Challengers with none so far.
Richardson going to bring it out of backcourt. He's in there with Gottsman, Frankowiak, Goldade, and Willard, who had 8 rebounds on senior night. Gottsman. Around the horn it goes. Richardson. Gottsman lets it fly from 3, and a travel called against the Challengers.
I had to mention turnovers, didn't I? Shuffled his feet there, did Gottsman.
Oh, the Challengers.
First turnover for Cascade.
Apply a little bit of defense here in the backcourt. Gottsman picking up Logan Snow, who's in the ball game. So Coach Javernick going to his bench early and often, as does Coach Morse. Deflection. There is Frankowiak quickly up the floor. Gottsman. Richardson with a look, and he knocks it down. Briley was 6 in the game. 2:42 to go in the quarter. 22-4, the Challenger lead. Over in the corner it goes, making a drive to the hoop, laying it up and in. Dustin Morton. Actually, that was Snow with it. 22-6 your score. Snowden and Alvarez getting ready to check into the ball game.
Gottsman with a nice take and a bucket.
He's got 4 in the game. Unusual for him, 2 twos.
Yeah, no kidding. He's attacking the rim. I like to see it.
Meanwhile, from deep, I think if Morton had gotten that any higher, he would have gotten rain. Goldade, Frankowiak, Gottsman, his shot rims off. Goldade, though, with the opportunity, he can't get it to go. Offensive rebound, Willard. Bounce pass. Out to Frankowiak. He'll drive. Goldade will let it fly. His shot long. Willard with the putback attempt, can't get it to go. It goes out of bounds, last touched by the Challengers.
Yeah, somehow the Challengers got 4 shots on that possession and none of them went in.
So returning to the lineup will be Brady Klecker. Alvarez is back in the game, and Taylor Snowden, who scored 8 on Tuesday night, will enter the Challenger lineup.
Yeah, Richardson and Frankowiak both with 6 to lead the Challengers so far. Goldade has 3, Gottsman with 4, and Alvarez has 3.
Well, the Challengers, not a great shooting night overall on Tuesday, but they had 15 threes in that game. Meanwhile, move to the hoop and a travel called against the Chieftains. Logan Snow trying to make a move to the hoop.
He got the ball kind of stuck behind him on his hip somehow and took a couple steps while it's back there. That's a travel.
Gottsman brings it out of backcourt. Bounce pass to Klecker. Tries to look down low for Alvarez. And now with baseball spring training getting underway, low and away there.
Yeah, just a little low and away. Wasn't quite ready for that ball in that spot.
Coronado will check out of the lineup. Sean Murray in the ball game wearing number 20. And a travel call against the Chieftains as their turnovers pile up.
8 now in the quarter here for the Chieftains.
Mason Scott in the ball game, 6-foot sophomore. You also have Malachi Scott, a junior. Willard with the basketball to Snowden. Up top, Klecker drives to the hoop. He lays it up and in.
Klecker with 4 now.
Inside a minute to go on the game. In the first quarter, that is. 26-6. And we have a whistle and a foul against Cascsde Christian, and
that one's going to go on Klecker.
That'll be his first of the ball game, and that'll also be the Challengers' first team foul. Chieftains on the inbound, and it is broken up by Willard, but Morgan able to get it back, and now firing is Snow, misses the shot. Challengers with the rebound out of backcourt. Gottsman. And makes a move to the hoop, and he lays it up and in.
I'd love to see him attack the rim.
Time winding down, and a travel call before the basket made. So the basket will not count.
And another turnover for the Chieftains.
Jaron Frankowiak going to check in. Carson Willard will come out. 1.3, so it's going to be buzzer heave time. And Klecker hard off the window, and that will end the first quarter of play. After 1, John L. Scott scoreboard. Challengers 28 and the Chieftains 6. We'll be back after these messages.
At Rogue Credit Union, we don't answer to shareholders. Instead, we return earnings back to our members. We know that we're stronger when we work together, and that's why we're invested here, living, giving, and supporting local. We're your friends and your neighbors. We know the needs of our communities. Being a part of Rogue means that our focus is on our members, and when you prosper, we prosper. See the credit union difference and how being a part of something smaller can have a bigger impact.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Table Rock Sports thanks our great sponsors, including John L. Scott Real Estate, our scoreboard sponsors, and our longtime friends from Sherm's Thunderbird and Food for Less in Medford. Start the second quarter of play. Rogue River with the ball.
Challengers in the 1-3-1.
Scott with the basketball, picks up his dribble, cross-court pass to Morton. Now over for, looks like Easton Brown making his first appearance of the night. Working against Alvarez, tries to work his way through traffic. Challenger defense, physical and tough, but the Chieftains get it back. And now the bank is open for Mason Scott. Says, hey, you want pretty, go to an art museum. I just want results.
Yeah, exactly.
Feed inside, Goldade misses the shot. He'll get another opportunity. He can't get that one to go. And a little action there in the backcourt. Poor Cade, he can make the tough ones and the easy ones end up being trouble for him.
Sometimes.
Rogue River basketball. Tie up there, Alvarez. Jake Stockman. Battle for the ball. On the tie up, alternating possession goes to the Challengers. Challenger lineup now. Klecker along with Alvarez, Frankowiak, Goldade, and Richardson.
That's the starting five, I believe.
You are right. Richardson. Good active hands defensively by the Chieftains. Trying to battle for the ball there is Sean Murray. And the Chieftains call a timeout, and I believe, is that going to be a full or a 30?
It's a 30.
Okay, so we'll keep it right here and remind you that before or after the game is a great time to visit Dutch Bros and enjoy your favorite beverage. Dutch Bros gives back to the communities they serve in support of kids and local efforts to help others. Dutch Bros.
Well, I take it back. They turned it into a full. So, anyway, but a nice start for the Challengers here. I think really making sure that they get out to a lead and not let Rogue River stick around, hang around like it sounded like they did over at St. Mary's. They stayed in that game the entire game and figured out a way to win it at the end. And you know, anytime you have a team that you have beaten before or you're playing over again, you want to make sure you get out to that nice lead right off the bat and not let that psychological, thing start to happen where they think, oh, if we stick around, we might have a chance to win it at the end. And the Challengers doing here what they needed to do is take control of this game early and build a lead here in the first half. And they've done a good job of that so far.
Well, that's one of the things I was able to take away from the article in the Rogue Valley Times, that it was a fourth quarter rally that Rogue River had hung in there in that game, and then they found a way to win. And that's kind of the name of the game when you're a building program.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, steal by the Challengers. Andy Alvarez going hard to the hole. He gets fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line.
I think that's going to be on Dustin Morton, I believe.
Alvarez with 3 in the ball game. He's got a good touch. It hasn't always manifested itself in free throw line success. But sometimes, that's just a part of the growth process.
Well, it is. You got to learn how to play in a varsity game, too, as he misses the first one.
He'll have another coming. He is the team leader, though, and, didn't play a lot at the beginning of the year, but he's the team leader in blocked shots. Goes 1 for 2 from the charity stripe, as now he has 4 in the game.
Yeah, he's 2 for 4 from the foul line so far.
Meanwhile, Frankowiak gets a hand on it. Chieftains get it back, does Easton Brown. Brown splits the difference up top for Scott.
Challengers continuing to be in that 1-3-1, and you can see them kind of trapping in different places on the court.
We'll go ahead and kick it out. Bounce pass down on the low block. Working against Richardson, and a steal by the Challengers. Frankowiak with it. Quickly up the floor to Goldade. He'll pass for Klecker. Frankowiak will shoot it. His shot rims off. And a rebound there. Good effort by Sean Murray. Jake Stockman with the basketball. Quickly up the floor. Brown. He'll drive. Splits the difference. Shot hard off the glass. Alvarez with the rebound. Frankowiak, he was looking for Goldade, but the Chieftains break it up. And one of the things I'll say to the credit of the Chieftains, they're playing defensively. They're giving the defensive effort. Snowden back in the ball game as Frankowiak inbounds. Snowden on the wing, up top for Goldade. Klecker, cross-court pass. Snowden, low post for Alvarez. Up top, they'll feed it. Alvarez makes a move to the hoop. He gets it to go.
And that's when he looks his best, when he gets down in the block area and he can just finish at the rim. Because he can leap. He's got a pretty good jump. He can leap over people like that and finish.
Meanwhile, move to the hoop. And count the basket by Stockton, the hoop and the harm. Alvarez whistled for his first personal of the ball game. He'll come out as Willard comes in. Opportunity for a three-point play here. Free throw attempt. Off the back iron. Goldade with the rebound. Cade, leading rebounder on the team, averaging 6 a game. Klecker from the corner. His shot, it almost ended up becoming a baseline bank shot.
Yeah, hit the backboard somehow. I don't even know how you do that.
Meanwhile, a steal by Snowden. Spins to the hoop. Can't get the shot to go. Scott with the rebound and a foul in the backcourt. That'll go against Carson Willard. Well, I'll tell you you talk about physical. Carson Willard will leave more bruises than a train wreck.
He is not afraid to push people around, that's for sure.
Tell you what, whatever he lacks in height, he makes up, and he's grown over his high school career. But I tell you what, he makes his presence felt. Meanwhile, drive to the hoop by the Chieftains. Coming away with it, Klecker quickly up the floor to Gottsman. Goldade's going to shoot. He scores. Cade Goldade.
He's got 6 now, 2 threes.
And that's one area of his game that has come a long way since the beginning of the season. Brown's going to shoot it. Shot rims off. There to collect it is Klecker. Up the floor, Goldade. Klecker from downtown. He buries it. And a timeout call. We'll do the same, and we'll be back in 60 seconds here on TableRockSports.net.
It's a full. 1, 2.
Diverse venues, we got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Okay, you know how people complain about how Dutch Bros workers are like too nice, too hyper, compliment you too much, whatever? Maybe you're not nice enough. Maybe you need to get a little Dutch Bros in you.
Discover the West Coast destination for those seeking more. More sunny days, more athletic facilities, more outdoor adventures, more to do during downtime. Medford is your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Rory Woltz State Farm Insurance, protecting your dreams in Oregon for over 30 years. Like a good neighbor, Rory Woltz State Farm Insurance. And if this game were an episode of Sesame Street, we would say tonight's game is brought to you by the number 3. 7 3-pointers, as Mark counted up during the timeout. And you do that, that's kind of, again, this Challenger team can shoot well from distance. Frankowiak with a move to the hoop. Can't get the shot to go, but there's Willard with the putback.
Nice job by Carson being in the right place at the right time. Looked like Frankowiak had that one, but it just rolled off.
Meanwhile, move to the hoop, count the basket.
Stockman has 6 to lead all scorers for the Chieftains.
Stockman, he has 2 in the ball game. Make that 3. 39-13, 3:08 left to go in the half. Richardson will bring it out of backcourt. Challengers also have a lot of ball handlers, too.
They really do.
Frankowiak with it. Inside to Goldade, trying to make a move. Oh, talk about a move. Goldade.
Don't know how he got that up on the backboard, but he did, and he finishes. Challenger still in that 1-3-1.
Goldade with 8 in the game. His season average is 9. And meanwhile, Scott with the basketball. Quick movement by the Chieftains on offense. And the shot in and out. Good look there by Logan Snow. Couldn't get it to go. Frankowiak with the basketball. Drives. Willard will shoot. Willard's shot off to the left. Scott trying to chase it down, but he stepped out. Good call there by the official. And Alvarez checking back into the ball game for Cascade as Goldade will take a well-deserved breather. Richardson on the inbound. Frankowiak makes a move to the hoop, and
don't know how there wasn't a foul called there.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one because it looked like it from here. Meanwhile, Rogue River with it. And double teamed and trying to helter-skelter his way to the hoop. Stockman, ball lost out of bounds. It'll be Challenger basketball. 1:53 to go in the half. And Frankowiak will walk it up the floor. Motions to Alvarez. Now he's down in the low block. Skip pass broken up. Mason Scott there. Working against Gottsman. Near steal by Richardson. And it'll be Chieftain basketball.
Frankowiak out. Klecker in.
Move the chess pieces around. Klecker in there along with Richardson, Alvarez, Willard, and Gottsman. Mason Scott with the basketball. Bounce pass. And
Mason Scott stepped out of bounds.
And so it'll be Challenger basketball with 1:26 left to go in the frame. Challengers, 41 points already here in the ball game.
Well, 28 in the first quarter.
Richardson, screened by Alvarez. Richardson looking down low. And Alvarez, who scored a career-high 16 against Brookings Harbor, has 6 in the ball game tonight. Bounce pass. Trying to make a move there is Morton. Steal by the Challengers. Klecker, 2. Rogue River with the ball. Tried to dump it low post and pass a little bit higher. I don't know. Maybe that was a shot, but
I think it was a tipped ball.
Whatever it was, Challengers have it now. Klecker shoots the long jumper. Collision. Klecker will get another opportunity, and he gets that one to go. Brady Klecker has 12 in the ball game.
Good to see him come back. He's had a couple of bad shooting nights, so.
Well, he kind of goes in, not like another Klecker I know. He kind of goes in streaks.
Yes, it is true. Seems
Seems
to be a family trait.
The basket looks like a hula hoop, and other times it looks like a cup on the 18th green.
Hudson Gottsman misses from the corner.
And that will end the first half.
And Carson Willard is going to pick up another foul. That'll be his third.
Well, he'll use them if he's got them. And that will end the first half of play. Challengers lead 48-13. We invite you to stick around. We've got The halftime report coming up from the Medford Parks and Recreation Department. Visit Play Medford for the latest recreation guide. All the sports leagues, classes, and special events await you. Visit playmedford.com to learn more. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, then we'll be back, discuss the first half, and look at the stats, and that'll come up in 2 minutes.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Pick it up. Let's go. Come on. Defense. Defense. What am I teaching you at home? Has this kid played before? Shoot it. Oh. Ah. Come on, ref. Open your eyes. Can't you see out there? So, which one's your kid?
The referee.
You can be a parent, athlete, coach, or an official, but you can only be one. Know your role.
For over 50 years, each day has started with a smile, a helping hand, and a promise to be there when you need us most. Delivering on that promise are our hard-working, dedicated employees. At Sherms, we're proud to be an essential part of our community and look forward to keeping our selection, quality, and value where our customers deserve for many years to come. Sherms Food for Less and Thunderbird Market.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Thanks to Lippert's Carpet One for supporting our live streams, to Giant Warehouses, Design Help, and Certified Flooring Installers. Lippert's Carpet One, Medford and Grants Pass. Sometimes you look at the stat sheet and you go, that doesn't really tell the story of the game. Then you look at the stat sheet, sometimes you go, that tells the story quite well. And Mark, as you bring us the first half stats, I think it shows a commanding performance by the Challengers.
Oh, it really does. I mean, it's just incredible. The Challengers shoot 19 for 35 in the first half, 54% to 6 for 18, just 33% for Rogue River. And notice the difference in shots, 35 to 18. The Challengers almost twice as many shots as the Chieftains had in that first half due to the 16 turnovers that Rogue River had in that first half. So they win the turnover battle. 16 to 5, just 5 turnovers for the Challengers in the first half. So nice job by the Challengers taking care of the basketball and shooting well from the field with being over 50% for the first time in a little while since we've been doing games here. And holding the Chieftains to just 33% shooting from the field. Challengers 2 for 4 from the free throw line, that's 50%, and the Chieftains 1 for 2 from the free throw line. So not a lot of free throws shot in that first half either. Scoring, first for the Chieftains, Jake Stockman leading the way with 7. Mason Scott has 2. Logan Snow with 2. And Kobe Coronado with 2. And that's the scoring for the Chieftains in the first half. For the Cascade Christian Challengers, Briley Richardson has 6. Jaron Frankowiak with 6. Brady Klecker has 12. Carson Willard with a bucket for 2. Cade Goldade has 8. Hudson Gottsman with 6. And Andy Alvarez with 8. For Cascade Christian. So really balanced scoring. Most of the starters doing most of the scoring as you would expect, but everyone getting there, getting in the game, getting their opportunity to score some points as well. So a really nice balanced first half and a great job by the Challengers of doing what they try to do. They, their goal is to hold the other team to single-digit quarters. The Rogue River in the first quarter just 6 points, in the second quarter just 7. So that's the defensive goal for Cascade Christian. They obviously achieved that here in the first half, and then they try to score at least 15 points per quarter And as you can see, 28 in the first quarter and 20 in the second quarter. So the Challengers right on path where they want to be to win this one.
Absolutely. We'll take a break right now. When we return, we'll get you ready for the start of the second half. You're watching the Medford Parks and Recreation halftime report here on TableRockSports.net. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
After I met her, I called and asked her to go on a date with me, and we came to Abby's Pizza for our first date.
Eating it across from each other, I'll never forget it. This place is special.
It's barbecue chicken pizza season at Abby's Legendary Pizza, baby. Featuring our flavorful pizza sauce and a 3-cheese blend, layered with BBQ sauce, chicken, and onions. Order your hot and fresh feast now at abbys.com. A legendary pizza tradition.
When you work with Hart Insurance Agency, you'll experience the quality service and attention to detail that you'll only find with an independent insurance agency. Hart Insurance Agency was founded in 1947 and is one of the largest independent, locally owned agencies in Southern Oregon, with offices in Grants Pass and Medford. Their experienced team of agents have the knowledge to design, place, and to manage your personal and business insurance plans. Find out more. Visit hartinsurance.com.
Carpet One has been serving Southern Oregon for 68 years.
And it's time to celebrate during our 68th anniversary sale.
Save on Southern Oregon's largest inventory of hardwood, waterproof flooring, carpet, laminate, and tile.
Plush carpet just $268 a square foot.
Laminate $168 a square foot.
Waterproof plank an incredible 68 cents a square foot.
Plus pay no interest for 12 full months. During the 68th anniversary sale at both Lippert's Carpet One locations, Medford and Grants Pass.
Don't miss the President's Day sales event at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great inventory of new Jeep Gladiator and Grand Cherokee 4x4 models in stock now. Or test drive a new 25 Ram 1500 4x4. Shop online today with our online process to calculate your own payment, whether it's a lease, finance, or cash payment. Only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
In the heart of the Rogue Valley, RVTD connects us all, not just through miles traveled, but also through time. Today, RVTD moves with the pulse of the Rogue Valley. More than just a bus ride, it's a lifeline for workers, students, and families, ensuring access for all to jobs, schools, and essential services. Rogue Valley Transportation District, celebrating 50 years of moving our community forward.
Halftime report has been brought to you by the Medford Parks and Recreation Department. Visit Play Medford for the latest recreation guide. All the sports leagues, classes, and special events await you. Visit playmedford.com. Challenger swim team for you Cascsde Christian fans took off. They're going to be competing at the state tournament. We've got Miles Anderson, the number 1 seed in the 50 and the 100 free. We got our 200 boys medley relay team. And then Isaac Janbay, the number 3 seed. And I want to say it's the 100 and the backstroke. And then Josie Scaglione representing the Challenger girls. So it's getting about that time of year, and it won't be long. And the way things are going, I would not be surprised if you and I are making about what has become our annual trip to Coos Bay.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. Let's hope both the girls and the boys teams end up there this year.
And that's been a while. Well, I don't think that's happened since the girls finished 3rd in the state back in 2012, and that ended up being a 2 in barbecue year, a rare one for the Challenger boys.
Yes, and we stuck around and covered the girls, which was great. So I would imagine that we're going to cover both here this year. Hopefully, anyway, if both make it.
And we'll be looking to quite possibly do that on the Ace Sports Radio, where you can get the radio coverage and listen to the hometown team free of charge. Rogue River starting out the second half with the basketball. Scott making a move. And I tell you what, he's got a bunch of moves, and he can't get that shot to fall. Challengers come away with it. Klecker gives it up for Richardson. Bounce pass, Klecker. Oh, swinging around the horn. Alvarez on the move to the hoop. Oh, they wanted the dunk, but Alvarez probably actually thinking better of it.
Well, and that was smart on his part. He had a defender coming over. You don't want to hurt yourself trying to dunk something with a guy coming over.
As a freshman, he'll have plenty more opportunities before it's all said and done.
Well, and I highly doubt he's done growing at 6'5" either.
No. Well, you look at his grandpa Claudio and his dad Tim, who played minor league baseball for the Giants. They're not little dudes themselves.
No, they are not. And Morton ends up turning the ball over and giving it back to the Challengers. The 17th turnover of the game for the Chieftains. And the Challenger defense has been up to the task today for sure.
Richardson out of backcourt. Good to see him back in action after missing due to illness earlier in the week. Alvarez down on the low post. Feeds for Goldade. They'll call him for the travel.
I didn't see that one. Did you, Jim?
That one, I don't think I did, but then again, it looked like there might have been a dragging of the pivot foot, perhaps.
Maybe that's what they called.
Meanwhile,
Klecker on the race to the rim gets fouled.
And looks like that'll send him to the free throw line. Brady Klecker, 12 points tonight. He had 10 on Tuesday to go with 6 assists. And that's just interesting, the contributions you get from these players. You just never know where they'll come on any given night.
Klecker misses the first.
And he'll have another one on the way.
He's got 12 so far in this one. Second one goes down.
Now he's got 13 on the night. Out of backcourt, Morton with the basketball, and he was one of those key players in the Chieftain victory over St. Mary's on Tuesday night. Stockman, who has 7 in the game, has a little trouble there looking for Morton. Ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, blocked out of bounds by Alvarez.
Inbound to Morton, the 5'8 junior. Stockman. Around the horn it goes. Malachi Scott. Now Mason Scott shoots off to the left, and there to collect the rebound is Frankowiak. Quickly up the floor, Alvarez, and he can shoot from out there, and he gets it to go. Andy now in double figures with 11.
Got 13 by my count, but we'll see how that plays out here.
Alvarez with his third three-pointer of the season. And that'll be deflected off the leg of Alvarez, and it'll go out of bounds. But I really like this kid's future.
Yeah, he's really coming along too, learning fast, catching on with the Challenger mindset as far as defense goes, and been fun to see him grow into the position that he's in. And we mentioned, he started the last few games when Derek has been out, and the 3-second in the key violation there gives the Challenger ball back. But as he's had a chance to start, he's really been able to, get more time on the floor, get him more comfortable out there being a freshman, and it's been fun to see that.
Yes, well, you figure that'll come in handy come playoff time. Goldade with it, spins, shoots, scores.
He's got 10.
Goldade, he's come a long way in terms of his confidence since the beginning of the season. Now more confident than a possum on the freeway.
There's another one of those fouls I just don't see.
But foul called against the Challengers. Looks like they're going to call a block, and that'll be Richardson's first of the ball game. And Rogue River will inbound. Easton Brown, who's in the ball game, starts to make a move, has a look, and he connects. Not mistaken, that's his first field goal of the ball game. Goldade from downtown, his shot rolls around and out, but we've seen him connect on a couple of those this evening. Frankowiak looking for Alvarez, lost the handle on it. Challengers keep possession. Goldade off the window for two.
And timeout, Chieftains.
Timeout called, and we'll take one as well.
So full.
And so stick around. We'll be back in 60 seconds here on TableRockSports.net.
Actually, that was a Challenger timeout. I thought it was a Chieftain timeout.
One of the things I like most about working at the Ashland Food Co-op is that it's a partner with RVTD's Employer Pass program. It makes it super easy for me to get to work and save a ton of money. I play a lot of musical instruments. I bought my own tuba when I started working at the co-op. Sometimes I'll bring it into work to play for like my coworkers and the customers. When I bring my tuba onto the bus with me, it definitely gets a lot of heads turned and people will ask me, what's that thing? Why is it so big? RVTD is moving our community forward.
Don't miss the President's Day sales event at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great inventory of new Jeep Gladiator and Grand Cherokee 4x4 models in stock now. Or test drive a new 25 Ram 1500 4x4. Shop online today with our online process to calculate your own payment, whether it's a lease, finance, or cash payment. Only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Cascsde Christian on defense. The Chieftains in green, moving right to left.
4 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Morton to Brown. Brown likes to drive, and it's one of those things on that penetration. You got guys on the wing, may give him some open opportunities as the defense collapses, but a turnover for Rogue River gives the challenger the basketball. Frankowiak lets it fly from downtown. I think he's back on his game.
Seems to be dialed back in, doesn't he?
Well, if I remember correctly, he went 4 for 8 from downtown on Tuesday night, but that had come after, by his standards, a protracted slump.
Yep.
No doubt being at home helps tremendously. And the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be challenger basketball.
Another turnover for the Chieftains, as that challenger defense has really been good. They have 2 points here in the third quarter with three and change to go.
Richardson, bounce pass to Goldade in the high post. Nice play there. And Richardson, splat. It's good.
Richardson with 8 for the Challengers.
Everybody getting into the act this evening.
Well, certainly are.
Scott with the basketball, and now letting it fly and connecting from distance, Dustin Morton.
One of the few bright spots here in the second half.
Meanwhile, Jaron Frankowiak, as he was on the move.
Dustin Morton's going to get his second.
And that'll be the second team foul for Rogue River here in the third. Brown's going to come into the ball game. Coming out is Sean Murray.
2:51 to go here in the third quarter. The Challengers obviously dominating this one and keeping their streak, or at least trying to, of single-digit quarters.
Frankowiak shot a little bit long.
And they're going to call Brady Klecker for a push in the back.
And for Brady,
I think that's his second.
And now the night shift coming in for the Challengers. Gottsman, Snowden, Jake Beamish, Dawson Murphy, and Carson Willard. I tell you what, this Beamish, it'll be interesting if he gets some additional height on his frame, but he's a real competitor inside. Dawson Murphy out of backcourt, glides to the hole, plays it up with the left hand too. Dawson Murphy wasting no time getting into the scoring column. Brown with the ball, moves to the hoop. Contact on the play.
Well, and now I think, is that on Willard? That's going to be his fourth, I think.
So Carson better be careful or his night's going to come to a very quick end.
Well, I don't think Coach really cares, to be honest.
You know, there's always opportunity for Brown. So it'll be, kind of a next man up situation and plenty of options. It looks like we got another one of your young guys on the challenger bench. Is that Munoz over there?
Yeah, Malachi. Yep.
2 for 2 at the charity stripe for Brown. Willard, his shot in and out, can't get it to go. Rebound taken by Stockman. Jake out of backcourt, moves to the hoop, kind of loses handle on the ball, gets it back. Long skip pass over to Nick Nunez, who's just checked into the ball game. Brown shoots off to the left, quickly out of backcourt. Jake Beamish with it, and a collision on the way to the hoop. Brown there along with Beamish. And Jake Beamish during football season, he was one of those guys along with Mike Covey that really came on and became a valuable part of the challenger defense, and that almost looked like a football play over there.
Well, let's just say Beamish is built quite well for a freshman, and
yes,
you don't want to take that on.
No,
I don't think you want to take that on.
A train collision, and Jake's the big train.
Yeah, exactly.
First free throw attempt.
Come on, Jacob.
He'll have another opportunity coming.
This is something he's been working on this season, as a matter of fact. He led the JV team in free throws this year. Free throws attempted and free throws made.
And he gets one there. Well, with all that play inside, he's going to get those opportunities, and like Alvarez, and you'll want to make sure you capitalize on them. Quickly up the floor, Taylor Snowden with the basketball, 2. Senior with his first bucket of the ball game. 1:12 left to go in the third. Mason Scott picks up his dribble, bounce pass, Stockman, and Rogue River ends up losing the ball.
Yeah, it has not been a pretty night for Rogue River tonight. They might have had a great game against St. Mary's on Tuesday, but tonight has not looked good for them.
Yes.
And it looks like we've got something on the basketball. So,
yeah, something you don't want is a slippery basketball.
I think they should be grabbing another one from behind the bench, but let's see if they deem this one to be okay. They're going to put it back in play.
All right. Gottsman going to bring it out of backcourt. Seen a lot of him handling the rock this evening. Gottsman moved to the hoop and rejected there by Kobe Coronado. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Chieftain basketball. Nunez with it. Cross-court pass. Moving inside. The attempt there by Snow. Misses there, and Snowden with it now for Cascade. 27 seconds left to go in the quarter. Gottsman out high. Huddy directing traffic, gets a screen from Murphy. And Gottsman, as he makes a move to the hoop. And we'll have a whistle on the play. And that'll send Gottsman to the free throw line.
I think that's going to be on Stockman, I think. Challengers have it underneath.
Willard takes the inbound. Murphy will shoot from 3. His shot off target.
Bank was almost open.
Yes, but they closed it, and that'll end the third quarter of play. Cascade Christian on top, 68-20. We'll take a timeout and be back in 60 seconds.
Curious to see if the Challengers will go back to their starters like they usually do for the first.
All right, getting ready to start the fourth quarter of play.
And again, the Challengers hold Rogue River to 7 points in the quarter. Nice job again by that defense all night long. 6 points in the first, 7 in the second, and 7 in the third.
Inbounding, Jake Beamish to Snowden, freshman to senior. Now to Gottsman. Murphy going to make a move, glides to the hoop. He looks smooth on that, couldn't get it to go, but Beamish was there for the putback.
Beamish there to clean up the rebound. Yeah, our freshman class is very good. Nice spin move.
Oh, yeah. Nice looking move there by Logan Snow.
He'll get a bucket and go to the free throw line.
Snow with his first bucket of the ball game.
Beamish picks up a foul.
Substitution in, Sawyer Badley. We saw his sister in the girls' game. Snow, can he convert the three-point play? He eyes the bucket. Short, but offensive rebound by the Chieftains, and another nice spin move to the hoop. This one doesn't fall. Swing it around, and Snow going to go hard to the hole. Shot won't go. Beamish with the rebound. Gets it out of backcourt, but it is stolen away by Scott on the Chieftains. Scott lays it up and in. Mason Scott now Snowden with the basketball, kicks it out. Gottsman. Murphy loses the defender, pulls up, shoots. A little bit long. Stockman with the rebound. 6:36 left to go. Challengers up 70-24.
And it looks like Malachi Munoz is going to get a chance to come in for the Challengers.
Making his, I believe, his first varsity appearance of the year.
It is.
Snowden out of backcourt. Gottsman is shot in and out. Murphy there. He lays it up and in. Murphy on the putback. Challengers going to call a timeout.
Just a quick one, I think, to get specifically to get Munoz in the game.
Thanks to Lippert's Carpet One for supporting our live streams. 2 giant warehouses, design help, and certified flooring installers. Lippert's Carpet One, Medford and Grants Pass. Today's game is brought to you by the Southern Oregon Sports Commission's Know Your Role campaign, promoting respectful behavior at youth sporting events, and by Hart Insurance of Medford and Grants Pass, who can help with personal or business policies, and independent agency Hart Insurance. Getting ready to check in for the Chieftains, Keone Kwiklinski in the ball game. 5'8" junior wearing number 10. And Malachi Munoz into the game for the Challengers. Working on Mason Scott. Kwiklinski loses the handle on the ball. Murphy there. Snowden. Tight defense there by the Chieftains. Beamish on the drive to the hoop. He's hacked. He'll go to the line.
That is one thing he is good at, is turning quickly like that and attacking the rim. You can see what a tough guard he is to try and keep away from the rim when he has that little quick move as soon as he catches the ball.
First free throw attempt. Rims off. He'll have another one coming. Beamish with 3 in the game. Gets the second. Malachi Munoz, who's just checked in, wearing number 10 for the Challengers. Easton Brown getting ready to return for the Rogue River, along with Malachi Scott. Mason Scott will come out of the lineup.
Along with Dustin Morton leaving as well.
Brown for Kwiklinski. He'll make a move, picks up his dribble, kicks it out for Brown. Brown quickly taken by Willard. Pass, out of bounds it goes. It'll be Chieftain basketball.
9 on the shot clock for Rogue River. Wonder if they're aware of that. We'll see.
He'll get it, and Logan Snow moves to the hoop. He lays it up and in. Snow with 4 in the ball game.
4:20 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Munoz, Murphy, Beamish inside. A shot off to the right, no good. Goes out of bounds. Challengers with the inbound. Underneath their own basket. Snowden. Murphy. Dump down, low post for Willard. He misses, but Beamish is there for the putback. Beamish with 6 in the ball game, 3:45 to go. Meanwhile, moving quickly the other way on the drive, Malachi Scott.
He's going to get to the free throw line. Malachi Munoz going to pick up his first foul. It's Malachi on Malachi, apparently.
Yes. 3:28 left to go in the game. Free throw attempt. Scott misses on the first. He'll have another one on the way. Second attempt, in and out. Offensive rebound, however. Open look. Shot just a little bit long for Snow. Good hustle by Beamish. Good body control there to save it. Willard kicks it back for Snowden. Snowden spins. I'll give it for Munoz. His shot short off the rim. Kind of looked like he might have rushed that one just a little bit.
He did, and I think he picked up another foul right there as well.
So that'll be his second personal foul.
Well, I guess you get 5 fouls in a quarter.
Well,
welcome if you got them, right?
Exactly. Exactly. It's like Malachi's thinking, well, they'll remember me.
Yeah.
Snow with the basketball. And he'll drive to the hoop, misses the shot. Well, you won't have to worry about setting the record for fouling out. If I think back of several years ago when Coach Morris and I were with the Challengers, we had a teammate, Bob Boyce, We call him Big Bird. 6'3", big head of curly hair. Fouled out in 2 minutes.
Oh, my goodness. How did he do that?
Well, he had a knack.
Oh, I guess so.
I think, if it's anywhere near me, there's going to be contact. I believe Bob was living with the Jackson family at that time.
Okay.
Free throw attempt, good. Make it 75-27.
2 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Snowden says, if you're not going to guard me, I will shoot it.
Yes, high off the backboard. Put back attempt by Willard, and it's good. Willard with 4 in the game. Several years later, you kind of go back to the early 2000s, I think. Lance Schroyer, who played briefly for the Challengers, had threatened Boyce's performance. And you know who was another Challenger who could rack up fouls quickly in spite of his slender appearance was Caleb Getman, one of the other Getman kids. Scott at the free throw line. Mason Scott, that is, connects on the first free throw attempt. He's got 5 in the game. Second attempt, bounces around and off. Willard with the rebound. Outlets for Snowden. Taylor with it. Malachi now to Beamish. His shot rejected. And now Beamish, as he makes a move to the hoop, he's fouled there. Looks like that one might go against Murray. And that'll send Beamish to the charity stripe.
He's made the second one on each of his first 2 trips. Let's see if he can make the first one this time. Nope. At least he's consistent.
Yes. And he'll get another one as Nunez gets ready to check back in for Rogue River. Nick Nunez, number 32, 5'9" freshman. He's kind of got that Ryan Froughton build.
Yes.
One of your, JV2 guys?
JV guys, JV2, who played a little of both all season long.
Beamish, well, he follows suit.
He's consistent. He's 3 for 6, and he's made the second attempt on each and every one.
Varsity season high of 7 for him tonight. Nunez. And the rainbow jumper is good. Got a feeling Munoz might get a look before it's all said and done. And foul on the play. And the clock running. Caden Richardson, who's in the ball game, whistled for the foul. Munoz from 3. He can't get it to go. Offensive rebound by Snowden. They're going to clear it out, and they're going to wind this one down. Murphy with the basketball. Out high, Willard with the basketball.
That will do it.
That will end the game. The Cascade Christian Challengers complete an unbeaten run through league play, winning by a score of 78-31. We invite you to stick around. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll have the Southern Oregon Sports Commission's Know Your Role postgame show. Visit travelmedford.com/knowyourrole to see how this campaign is changing the culture of youth sports for the better and to learn about your sport ground where the West Coast comes to play. We'll recap scoring, look at key stats. That's coming up on the Know Your Role postgame show, where we make sports fun again. We'll be back in 2 minutes here on TableRockSports.net.
All right, let's go, guys. 15 minutes. Get your stuff.
Bye, Mom.
Have a good day, guys. I don't know what happened.
Just next time, go a little slower and figure it out.
Okay, I get it. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take the line.
Life is busy. Juggling everything can be overwhelming. We've all been there. So consumed with our own lives that we sometimes forget about what someone else might be going through.
Ref, come on! No, ref! There's no contact! I'm straight up! That is a terrible
So
goal.
keep it in perspective, because we're all hoping for the same thing, to be respected.
Okay, I'm just going to take a moment because I got to show this to you guys. Because this, to me, is what it's all about. I think, two programs in two distinctly different places in terms of their program history, but gathering for a post-game prayer. Morse with some encouraging words for the Chieftains. As you mentioned, Mark, we saw this, something like this go last year. That's the thing. You compete hard, and you go for the victory, but when it's all said and done, we all live in the same community.
Yep.
And you compete hard and, show good sportsmanship in doing so. Grace and victory, and humility and victory, and grace and defeat. And like seeing that between the two teams following tonight's contest. What we'll go ahead and do right now, we'll go ahead and get another spot in here, and when we return, we'll look at the post-game stats here on TableRockSports.net.
2, 4, 6, 8, 9.
Carpet One has been serving Southern Oregon for 68 years.
And it's time to celebrate during our 68th anniversary sale.
Save on Southern Oregon's largest inventory of hardwood, waterproof flooring, carpet, laminate, and tile.
Plush carpet just $268 a square foot.
Laminate $168 a square foot.
Waterproof plank an incredible 68 cents a square foot.
Plus pay no interest for 12 full months. During the 68th anniversary sale at both Lippert's Carpet One locations, Medford and Grants Pass.
Don't miss the President's Day sales event at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great inventory of new Jeep Gladiator and Grand Cherokee 4x4 models in stock now. Or test drive a new 25 Ram 1500 4x4. Shop online today with our online process to calculate your own payment, whether it's a lease, finance, or cash payment. Only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Back here at the Cascsde Christian Pavilion, the Challengers complete an unbeaten run through league play by defeating the Rogue River Chieftains. And the two squads gathering at center court after the contest. And, of course, like seeing that, Mark working on the post-game stats and everybody kind of getting into the act for the Cascsde Christian Challengers. The younger players, among them a lot of JV kids, a lot of sophomores and freshmen getting extended playing time this evening, and that's, of course, always good to see, and that's one of these things that a game like this gives you an opportunity to do is allow those kids to play. Mark, I was curious. I don't know if you've heard anything. I know that they were trying to look at the possibility of maybe trying to get a non-league game on Saturday. Do we have any word on that yet? We don't. I think Coach is still trying to work on that, but I think at this point it's kind of unlikely that it will happen. And I'm sure if something does come up, we'll get involved in doing it on the broadcast, I would think. But anyway, as of right now, there's nothing in concrete. I know he's been talking to several different teams and trying to get a tune-up game in before the league or the state playoffs, and it's going to be because there's the play-in games, I believe, happen next Tuesday, and then the state games, the next round, what they call the second round now, it starts on that following Friday and Saturday. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out with, if the Challengers can get a game or not, because it sure would help them to play another game instead of having to wait almost an entire, over a week, really, before they play their next one. So, anyway, nice game tonight for the Challengers. They held Rogue River to single-digit quarters, except for the last one where they got 11.
6 in the first, 7 in the second, 7 in the third, and 11 in the fourth. And, hold the Chieftains to 31 points while scoring 78 on their own. Just a nice night for Cascade Christian. And after what we heard of what happened on Tuesday and the Chieftains beating the Crusaders, I'm sure that there was actually probably helped the Challenger boys get prepared, going, look, anybody can beat anybody if you have a bad night, and we don't want to have a bad night on the last game of our regular season. So nice to see both the girls and the boys go 10-0 in league. I mean, I can't remember if ever that's happened where both of them have gone undefeated in their league. And just a fabulous showing by both of those teams this year. Let's look at a few of the stats here. First of all, shooting. The Challengers 31 for 61 tonight, 51%. You'll take that any night as a coach. Only 6 for 12 from the free throw line, but that's not a super good job for the Challengers, just 50%. Chieftains, meanwhile, for the game, 12 for 35, just 34%. Remember, they were 33 in the first half. Challengers were 54 in the first half, so they came down slightly. But the 33 and 34, pretty consistent for Rogue River tonight. Good defense by the Challengers. Anytime you hold a team in the 30s shooting the basketball, you're doing a good job. The Chieftains, 5 for 11 from the free throw line. That's 45%. And the big stat, the Chieftains with 25 turnovers tonight in the game. Challengers with just 9. And, that leads to that huge difference in shots. You see for the game, the Challengers take 61 shots to just 35 for the Chieftains. So a lot of that having to do with the turnover battle. Also, good job of offensive rebounding by the likes of, the Challengers, especially like Carson Willard, Andy Alvarez, getting those second chance opportunities for the Challengers and doing a good job of hitting the offensive glass. Scoring tonight, let's go with Rogue River first. Dustin Morton had 3, Jake Stockman with 7, Mason Scott had 5, Logan Snow with 7, Easton Brown with 4, Caden Richardson had 3, and Kobe Coronado had 2. So nobody in double figures at all for Rogue River. And the Challengers just do a good job of putting pressure on teams. And they, with the 25 turnovers, a lot of turnovers. And when you turn the ball over that many times, you're just not going to get enough shots to get yourself, in the game. And that's pretty much what happened tonight for the Chieftains. For the Challengers, everyone got in the scoring column, it seems like. Bradley Richardson had 8. Jaron Frankowiak with 9. Brady Klecker had 13. Carson Willard with 4. Cade Goldade had 12. Taylor Stoughton had a bucket for 2. Hudson Gottsman had 6. Andy Alvarez with 13 tonight. He's been doing better and better from that center position. Looking very good in that role. Jacob Beamish off the bench with 7. Dawson Murphy had 4. So everybody pretty much that got in the game at least got a bucket tonight, and it's always good to see that happen for the Challengers. And just an overall great effort, I think, holding pretty much Rogue River to single-digit quarters, just 31 points for the game, and scoring almost 80 yourself. Mm-hmm. You can't complain about much of that.
Well, there's always, they talk about trap games.
Yep.
And that capacity is there, even if you're in a position where you win the game, you can be very sloppy in doing so and not look good doing it. It doesn't really feel like much of a win, but I think this is something that can be good for everybody involved in the game. I think especially with those extended varsity minutes for the likes of Beamish, that continues for Alvarez.
Yep.
What's nice about it, too, is it puts you in a position where you don't have to rush farther back in the lineup, and you can let some guys who have been under the weather, like Bradley Richardson, say, hey, just, take it easy and cheer your young teammates.
Yeah, be in there 3 or 4 minutes at a time and get yourself out and rotate guys in. And it's good for these other guys to get those varsity minutes and get that experience on a varsity court, because you never know who you might need to play, who's going to get in foul trouble at the state tournament or in a playoff game coming up. So I think it's been very good these last few games, because what we've seen – even if you look at the scoring for tonight for the Challengers, 28 points in the first quarter, 20 in the second, 20 in the third. They only had 10 in the fourth, but, that's with the entirely the JV team in there, basically. So, they're consistent on offense, and they've been very consistent on defense. And I think the defensive improvement is the thing for me that is the most obvious, because at the beginning of the year, this team struggled a little bit defensively, and they lost some of those games in that tournament up at Salem Academy due to their poor performances on defense. And you're seeing a lot better rotations, a lot better thought processes on how we're going to defend people currently than we've seen or saw earlier in the year.
Well, I think a lot of people think just defense is an individual effort, but really in your better programs, there's a real team. I know throughout the game you talk a lot about help defense,
yep,
where that's going to be needed, or rotating off,
yeah,
so you don't just leave a guy wide open all by himself on an island to knock something down. You do all of those things, and you have that communication, which that's the thing sometimes in high school, especially in high school boys sports, is sometimes you guys got to communicate out there, got to talk it up out there, and those are the things that you can see, those areas of growth that you can see, because certainly there's no question about the athleticism.
No, but if you looked at this game that we played over at Rogue River earlier in the season, I think Rogue River was in the 40s. You look at the Lakeview game we played over at Lakeview earlier in the season. Lakeview scored in the 40s. These last two, both those teams at 30, right at 30, 31 and 30, or 30 and 1 and 29, I think, something like that. And that's because of the extra. There's been a lot of work in practice on the defensive side of the ball, and I think you're really starting to see that defense come together that the Challengers have played when they get to the state tournament, and that's what they have to have with this team. They're going to live and die by the three a little bit. And they're going to have stretches where they're not going to score points. So that defense has to be consistent, and it has to carry them and keep them in games if they're going to have a chance to make a deep run in the playoffs.
Sure will. Well, that'll wrap things up. We thank you for watching today's broadcast. I'd like to thank Cascade Christian Athletic Director Nate Maben for hosting the Lithia Superstore Game of the Night on TableRockSports.net and today's broadcast. Special thanks to head coaches, and it would be Coach Javernick for the Maxwell Javernick for the Chieftains, Brian Morris for the Challengers. And our next Table Rock Sports production featuring Challenger boys and girls basketball. Well, you're just going to have to keep your eyes and ears open, and we'll let you know. And if they're, at this point in the year, wherever they are, we'll bring it to you. Again, the final score from the Pavilion, Cascade Christian 78, Rogue River 31. This has been a presentation of TableRockSports.net. Our executive producer is Joe Brett with Mark McLemore. And on the camera, Becca Miracle, I'm Jim McCoy saying thanks for watching and good night from the Pavilion in Medford, Oregon.